Yeah, and I would like to just say one more thing here real quick. I see some people in the comments talking about addressing allegations. Guys, I have not relapsed. I have not relapsed. That is a lie. Here is what they've done. Justin Williams and TJ have cooked up this plot because I take diet pills, but this has been a plan that's been launched in action for minimum of months. It looks like more like years when you look at the track record of some of the stuff that's been done. I was removed from all the trademarks. I was removed from the building. I've been removed from a lot of stuff without them telling me, and that's been going on for years. That's not months. That's years. So this has been a plan that's been launched, and you know what? I say good luck to them. At the end of the day, if I'm not able to get my company back, I start over tomorrow from square one, and I outgrow them in 2 months. It won't even be a question.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Support this great content by hitting the cash app and by joining the Patreon.
And guys, we have Ben Armstrong speaks out. Bitboy Crypto shows that he's clean and has the paperwork to prove it. But guys, all this sounds like entertainment. And I'm going to be doing a Patreon video tomorrow to break it all down. But guys, yesterday I think that video did 7,000 views. And why did it do 7,000 views? Because people worry about things that don't matter. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have Grayscale wins against the SEC. And a lot of you been hitting me up asking me what's next. Remember guys, we follow the Fed, we don't guess. Right now, we have high rates, and they're going to be higher for longer. That means the Fed is shrinking liquidity. We don't have the liquidity in order to pump off of great news like we normally would. And it's going to get worse going towards the end of the year. But remember, guys, a spot Bitcoin ETF takes the volatility out, but it allows institutions to come in. Do I personally think that BlackRock and ARK is going to get approved? No, I do not. But guys, remember, this is only my opinion. I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. But I see BlackRock and these other ETFs getting approved at the beginning of next year. Why do I say that? Because we know the BRICS and the emerging markets are going to flip that switch on the fourth industrial revolution. And by that time, the United States will have some type of regulation. And in 2025, the United States will flip the switch on our fourth industrial revolution. Guys, we see all this technology moving in all the videos I do, all the articles I send out. We see the technology is there. It's just the fact is that they need that big enough distraction in order to bring it in. And make sure you watch the video I did earlier today because Elon Musk is going state to state getting these currency licenses so the X app will be just like WeChat and Alipay, guys. Remember, when the NWO puppets speak, take them for their words. They letting you know the agenda. And we clearly see it playing out. The robots, algorithms, and drones taking the economy over. We see Skynet. We know about Neuralink that can read the brain waves, so therefore they know what you're thinking. Guys, all the technology is here. I know it sounds like a movie, but remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Here for a spot Bitcoin ETF, we're just getting news that a DC Court of Appeals sided with Grayscale in its lawsuit against the SEC. This was after the agency denied Grayscale's application to convert its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, that's GBTC, into a Bitcoin ETF. Check out shares of GBTC. Looks like they're up about 15% or so. This fund had really traded at a discount to Bitcoin amid fears that the fund would need to be wound down potentially if this ETF application wasn't improved. You can see it surging today on this news. Coinbase also, which is listed as a partner in a lot of these Bitcoin ETFs, it's up double digits as well, up more than 14% at this point. Bitcoin getting a pop here as well. It could pave the way, guys, for the first of its kind ETF here. Analysts have seen this as a way to really open up the floodgates to retail traders. It would allow the everyday investor to get access to Bitcoin in a brokerage account, for example, and make it easier to allocate to crypto. We do have a statement, guys, from Grayscale as well. They say, in part, this is monumental and a monumental step forward for American investors, the Bitcoin ecosystem, and all those who have been advocating for Bitcoin exposure through the added protections of the ETF wrapper. They go on to say the Grayscale team and legal advisors are actively reviewing the details outlined in the court's opinion. They're going to be pursuing next steps, they say, with the SEC. Grayscale, not the only one here in the Bitcoin ETF. You've got, or application rather, you've got BlackRock and Fidelity also in line. And this has been seen as a major catalyst for prices. Bitcoin in particular, the cryptocurrency has really been trading sideways this year as volume drops and a lot of retail investor interest has slowed down along with prices.
Go global for a moment with us, because look, other places have spot Bitcoin ETFs. What has been the US's issue with it? What more broadly have you felt is different with the SEC versus other regulators?
At a high level, it's really the different players that are in the space today, whether it is on the fact of the SEC working closely with Coinbase, and obviously there's a lawsuit there that they're working through, the SEC and Grayscale. There's a bunch of intermediaries today that the SEC is working with, and it is just simply unclear in terms of how the SEC is going to regulate versus them pushing out a rule book, or Congress having to just take the step and make guidelines for everyone in the United States to follow. And unfortunately, even if you compare to the UK with MICA, we just haven't seen that level of proactive guidelines.
It's a deadline Friday for BlackRock. There's a 21 shares Invesco deadline Saturday. What happens next to your mind?
Yeah, again, I think the market was just simply caught off guard. We were expecting this GBTC news to come out in the last 2 weeks. And so on the backs of macro, on the backs of Jackson Hole, you're just seeing that the market was not expecting this news, and overall sentiment was negative, and implied volatility was at its lowest. And so really what that sets us up for is a very volatile Q3 and Q4. We're probably going to see the next 3 months have a lot of activity between these different players. And listen, the legal bandwidth of BlackRock and Fidelity, as well as ARK, is going to be far, far larger than some of the crypto players. And we will likely see those conversations get pushed further than what we've seen to date. So it's very exciting for the United States.
Beyond the ETF provider themselves, who wins?
Institutional investors. And really, the reason they win is institutional investors are looking for regulated paths to get exposure to these assets in structures that they're used to in traditional finance. And that just hasn't been available yet today in the United States. And so really, this is a huge push forward for us. We've always said that the institutional wave is coming, but it really can't come until we have very simple, regulated products available in the market. And this is a bit push forward towards that.
And going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in an ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.